Hi, my name is Elisa Parker. I am a speech language pathologist who's spent a number of years in a preschool setting working with children, their teachers, and the families at home on toilet training. I'm also an autism consultant for my building, and this is usually one of the number one topics with our kids, especially as they are heading into kindergarten. So usually that January to May kind of conversation right before we hit kindergarten is a lot about toilet training. So today I just wanted to share a little bit of information about how to get started with toilet training at home. Here's my information if you're wanting to know more about me. And I'd like to start with this little cartoon image. It talks about the only thing worse than a kid in diapers is a kid just out of diapers. And again, it's a big deal. There's messes everywhere. It's a lot of time and effort to put into it. But with persistence and dedication, just insistence on keeping that consistency within your family, in the end, you'll see some success. So just hang in there. It does get better. So let's talk about those steps to success in toilet training. You can see we have a pyramid here, and our foundational piece is readiness signs, the environment, priming and visual supports, and then reinforcement at the end. So let's get started. Let's talk about those physical signs of readiness. So some of the things that we want to look for is, can your child pull their pants up and down? Try to put them in elastic waistbands. There's nothing harder than a kid trying to do zipping and buttoning and snaps when they are in a hurry to go to the bathroom. So go with ease, because right now our goal is for them to just learn how to pull their pants up and down independently to be able to access that toilet. So that's the number one step, is even if they aren't voiding on the toilet, have them help with that process of when they get dressed and when they're getting undressed, for bedtime or in the morning, for bath time and so forth, when they're going to the toilet. Also, try to change that diaper in the bathroom so they start to learn that process too. So they go into the bathroom, you help maybe put their little thumbs within their pants and pull down their pants, have them help you take that diaper off, and then have them sit. So again, you're kind of getting them ready for that environment, priming them for the activity of learning to go to the bathroom independently. So some other things that you might find are attempts to pull the toilet paper off the roll and maybe possibly wipe themselves. Do they have dry periods of at least 2 hours, or are they dry during their naps? Those are some of those physiological signs that their body is starting to be ready for toileting. Try to write down those times of maybe them being dry and how long that period is. That'll help you keep track of that. Or maybe it's even dry versus wet. When are they wet? When are they dry? Just to help you kind of keep track of those hours in between. And that'll help you set a schedule for when you really want to start really jumping into that toileting. So cognitive signs of readiness. Do they feel a difference between being wet or dry? Do they feel uncomfortable when their diaper is soiled? Are they kind of touching themselves or squatting or doing something, or maybe they're hiding when they're going to the bathroom in their diaper instead of in the actual bathroom? Do they show interest in other people's bathroom habits? Maybe they like to watch the big sister use the bathroom and so forth. And again, physical or verbal signs of when they're voiding in their diaper. Check for those things. So checking on the environment. The best thing is to determine a bathroom that you'll use all the time. Maybe it's more in the most accessible part of your home. For us, this was near the family room, because that's where we spent most of our time together. So we looked for that bathroom to be the go-getter. That's where we went every time. Try to have something entertaining for them nearby. If they're going to be sitting for a minute or so on the toilet, give them a book, give them a couple of favorite books, or maybe it's a fidget. Maybe, as you can see in this image here, there's just a basket full of goodies to choose from for that time. Also gather some reinforcers. So when they do void in the toilet, you can immediately reinforce them with something to use. And for those kind of things that are reinforcers, not just entertainment items, there's a difference. One is while they're going to the bathroom, and then the reinforcement is after they've been successful. And you, again, can decide on what is successful for that time. Maybe it's just them sitting on the toilet, and once they've sat on the toilet for so much time, you can give them an M&M. Good sitting, good sitting, good sitting, and so forth. And so looking at that reinforcement, you can maybe use a clear container of some sort with a lid. Maybe it's a mini tackle box with mini M&Ms or pieces of gummy bears in it, just depending on what your child might be interested in. You want to look at how high that reinforcer is as well, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. Environment. Establish a schedule of who's going to be implementing and how often. Will it just be you? Will it be Big Brother? Will there be a babysitter involved, and so forth? Use a timer. Here's an example, a visual countdown timer. You can find, it's an app. I know it is on Apple. I believe it's on Android as well. And it shows a cute little images. You can pick your images too. You could pick your own child, maybe even sitting on the toilet if you wanted to. And as the red goes away, the image shows up and shows whatever image that is. So kind of a fun one and entertaining for kids because you can choose different ones. Make sure to keep extra clothes nearby and cleaning supplies handy. I know we did a lot of cleaning in that purple bathroom that we just saw an image of. So yeah, again, it's worth it in the end, but it takes a while. So the next step we talked in our pyramid is visual supports. A visual schedule might be a nice thing. As you've decided how often you're going to take your child to the bathroom, have some images here. You can see there's a bathroom image right here. And maybe it's, breakfast, bathroom, playtime, bathroom, and so forth. So here's some images. There's a first then schedule I've listed here, and there's some more images in there of the visual schedule and a first then board. So you can have like a whole printout, see all of these red images here. You can put those red squares. Those are all the individual schedules that you can put together. Maybe it's, and again, these are for school, but you can use some of them at home as well, like brushing teeth, having lunch, going to the bathroom, and so forth. Maybe they get to play outside, then they go to the bathroom, then they go for a walk, and then they go to the bathroom, and then they have dinner, and they use the bathroom, and then it's time for their bath time, and so forth. So there's some school images in here, and there's also some images for you at home. This first then means it's more of a mini schedule. So you could put first bathroom, then music, or first bathroom, then lunchtime, and so forth. So you can carry that around and it could be more handy. So again, cut all of these images out one at a time, and then you can laminate them and so forth. If you're working with a school district, that preschool program can probably, they can help you print those and get those laminated and so forth. But just some different options on how to build a schedule. You can also find lots of schedules and things on apps as well these days. But these are kind of some old school images that you can use. This is a reinforcement board that you could use. Maybe good sit, you give them a token every time, or a penny, or put a sticker on there that says good sitting, good sitting, good sitting, good sitting. And then at the end, once they've done good sitting for maybe a minute on the toilet, you can give them that M&M for even just doing good sitting in the beginning. Maybe you're not even trying to get them to void just yet. But once they do void, boy, howdy, I would give them like 10 M&Ms instead of just the one for doing good sitting. Okay, so let's go back to the next one. So a mini schedule is another idea that, again, kind of that readiness for learning to use the toilet. I've put in, there's some other images in here as well, in addition to toileting, but here are some examples. First, you need to pull down your pants. Then you need to go pee or poop. Then you need to wipe. Then you pull up your pants, and then you flush. So this is something you can cut out, again, just this image itself, and show it to your child and show them each step as they're doing it. Sometimes our kids get overloaded with the language and the steps and the processes of things, just like we do as adults. So writing those out or giving them images that they can follow on their own can lead to independence, where you're not having to prompt them for every step of learning to use the bathroom. So some great images there. Again, you're welcome to print these out. And these are, again, just different types of images that I found through Boardmaker. These are lesson picks images. You can make your own, just however you'd like to do that. Okay, so another one is a social narrative, or you can make a social narrative. Let me go back a slide right here. This is, just a social narrative about using the toilet. Again, you can change this if you want, but here's an example of one that we can put together. I'm so happy when I poop in the toilet, I have clean pants. So just a short picture shows some images of things. You might want to go ahead and put in pictures of your own child. Again, that might give them more of a perspective of them. Sometimes that perspective taking can be hard. And so if you can put it in their own self with them doing those actions, it makes more sense for our young learners. Okay, so the next slide I wanted to show you is an actual video model, and there will be a link for this as well. Actually, you should be able to link it just from this slide video that I'm sharing.
Using the toilet. When I have to pee or poop, I first need to pull my pants down.
And I'm not sure if you can hear the sound on this one, but she's giving the narrative of what the child should do in the bathroom. Kind of a fun video. So anyway, at the end, that's something that you can show your child before they're using the bathroom, while they're using the bathroom, and so forth. So video models and that story that I was showing you a minute ago, the written story, those are things that you can do to prime your child for toileting. Maybe, again, they're not just ready to void yet, but these are things to show them what it's like. What's the experience? What does it look like? What does it feel like? What's going to happen during that time? So some other things that can be difficult for our kids is a lot of times they're busy playing. They don't want to stop to go to the bathroom. So talking about that transition, one of the first things you can do is use first then language. So again, I showed you that image of the first and then putting the then on there. That's a visual of it. But if you don't want to use the visual, that's cool. You can just use the language itself. Keep your language short and simple for our kids. So again, the goal is not really about learning this big language concept. It's more about being able to follow the direction of what needs to happen, right? So in this moment, our goal is getting them to the bathroom. So using short, simple language that's easier to understand, and pairing that visual with them if that's necessary for your child to help comprehend and understand. So again, first bathroom, then puppy pals. Right? So you just make it really simple. Maybe they're playing with this puppy pals at the floor and they can come back to that later. Or you're saving a big toy for them after they use the bathroom. First bathroom, then Paw Patrol on the video, right? And that could be part of your reinforcement that you use with them. Give them a transition object. If they are playing with a particular toy, let them take it to the bathroom and let them hold that while they're in the toilet. In the end, not a big deal. If it gets them to the bathroom, that's what we want at the end, right? Is that they actually make that transition. We don't want it to make it about the fight before getting to the bathroom. So if that helps them be successful, that's okay. Let them take that with them, as long as they don't throw it down the toilet, right? Provide a less preferred rather than the highest preferred toy right before the transition. So again, if they're playing with their favorite toy ever, or they're watching their favorite show before when it's time to go to the bathroom, they're probably not going to want to leave their activity, right? So wait till that highly preferred activity is over. switch in something different that maybe they're kind of like, I could walk away from this and it would be okay. So again, look at that timing of when you want that transition to take place and kind of insert something that's not so exciting that they have to walk away from during that time. So encouragement. Again, you can do some things during that time. Give them, again, an item to hold on to when they're in the toilet. Read a book, listen to a favorite song, possibly watch a video. Maybe you watch the video model going on. Maybe blow some bubbles during that time, or use some tiny bits of food just to keep them on the toilet and keep them going. So reinforcement, again, keep your reinforcement high, something that they only get for the targeted behavior. Again, maybe you're just looking at sitting and that's the reinforcement that you're targeting. But maybe it's an even bigger reinforcement if it's something when they actually void in the toilet. So sometimes the most natural reinforcement can be just watching the toilet flush, right? Or getting to wash their hands. Some of our friends just love getting their hands wet. So maybe just that whole act itself can be reinforcement for some of our kids. Other kids might need a little bit more. It's more of a social reinforcement, looking at praise, giving hugs and cheering them on, and then going to more tangible, saving that specific reinforcing item just for toilet time. So again, as I mentioned earlier, if they actually void in the toilet, give them a whole bunch of whatever you choose your reinforcement to be. I work for M&Ms pretty well. My kids used to work for fruit snacks really well. So just keep that in mind. On navigating that. And you can, if you are, again, working with a preschool teacher on toilet training or a daycare provider of some sort, just work together on what are they most motivated by, and what can you kind of withhold just for that toilet training time. So here's some other resources. I know we've used these at school, even as the kids, like I said, priming for that while they're in the toilet as well. Sometimes they like to watch these videos, but here's one. It's a book on a potty for me. You can find that in the storybook, or you can just use this link and watch the video itself. Here's another book about Elmo. I know Sesame Street isn't as popular as it used to be, but P is for potty in Elmo. PBS Kids, they have a whole section on toilet training with Daniel Tiger. So that's pretty amazing. And they have an app that's interactive also that you can use, again, for priming and getting your child ready for toileting. So check that out. That's pretty cool. And then over here is another video from Coco Melon on toilet training as well. Oopsie.
A Potty for Me, a Lift the Flap instruction manual by Karen Kapp.
Okay. All right, next page. And I just wanted to say thank you for joining me today, and I hope you found a little bit of information helpful. Down here is a link. This was the resource I used for the presentation today about the steps as far as being ready, the cognitive readiness, and so forth. So take a look at that if you'd like, and please feel free to reach out to me at this email below if you have any questions. Thank you.